Hey guys, here we go again. Our Monday Live. So many things happened this week. It's incredible. The P. Diddy jury is out. We'll see what happened with that whole shooting match. And all kinds of stuff going on. And I just saw this morning that some guy in Idaho made a fire. Firemen came to duck it out, and he shot 3 firemen, killed 2 of them. One is in the hospital in critical condition. I mean, what the fuck is going on in this country, bro? Weird, really weird. We're shooting firemen who come to save us and help us all the time. It's hard to believe.
What'd you do on the weekend, boss?
What I do on the weekend? I mean, I hung out mostly. I got a lot of rest. I really didn't do too much.
So everybody in chat, how was your weekend? Are you guys excited for 4th of July? What is everybody's plans? What are we doing? What are we doing for 4th? We're all barbecuing.
Barbecuing, and we're barbecuing. We're doing a whole bunch of things. And
okay. Bring sparklers tomorrow.
Yay.
Sparklers tomorrow. And so we're doing a few things here and there.
I don't think 4th of July is anything like it used to be in New York.
No, New York, it was such a celebration. It was crazy. I mean, every mob guy and his mother had fireworks for sale. And I think the whole Brooklyn and Queens and all the boroughs just exploded. That's all you heard all night long. Then the fireworks over the river. I mean, really, they really did it up.
Is that what you guys did? You guys went and watched fireworks during the 4th back then?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I really didn't go out that much. I mean, because, a guy could have been shooting at you 4 or 5 times. You wouldn't even think about it, hearing the noise. In the meantime, the guy missed 4 or 5 times, and you're standing there like a bob. So I try to duck those holidays.
Well, are you guys ready to get into some questions then?
Yeah, I'm ready as spaghetti.
Ready, spaghetti? Okay, I got a question from Redman. Sammy, a while back I read Al Diarco's book. I read the part where little Al talks about the meeting he was going to have with you. According to him, he was told that you had an army with you following you. I think that was the FBI. But little Al thought it was otherwise, guys. For their protection, he loaded up the diner with a bunch of his guys that were coming in heavy. So I guess it turns out that he wasn't trying to kill you. He was actually worried you might kill him at the meeting. Thoughts on that?
That's a lot of shit, because I did time with somebody who was with Al Diarco in that restaurant, Julio's restaurant. I did time with him, and he told me, he apologized. He said, Sammy, I was there. They were going to take you and Big Louie out. And they were all loaded up. And he was deathly afraid that you had a whole bunch of guys, cars around you. They weren't bodyguards. They were the FBI. And that's the only reason I didn't go. I sent Johnny Gamarano with an envelope to give it to him and apologized that I didn't come. I didn't come because I didn't want to bring the FBI there into a meeting. I knew they would follow me. So I just stood in my office and I stayed there. And that's what they were. So, and I did time with one of the guys who was there. He apologized and he said, yes, they were there to take you out. He says, Al Diarco was shitting in his pants. And I'll tell you why. Al Diarco, I was close with Gas Pipe, and Al Diarco was accused. He was like the acting boss while they were on the lam, of stealing money and doing stupid shit. And he was afraid that my relationship with Gas Pipe would use me to take him out. So I know the whole story, and I know the story from Gas Pipe as well. So he can write whatever he wants in his book. If that's what he thought, maybe that's what he thought. I have no idea what he thought. But that's the reality of it. There was FBI about... Matter of fact, my secretary said, Sammy, not only Matt and Frank, who was always there, the twins, they called them, there's a whole bunch of cars with guys. And we went out. I told Big Louie, I says, I can't go to this meeting. I think I'm going to get pinched. Look at all these agents. There's a ton of agents. And that's why we didn't go to the meeting. And so, I mean, however he felt about it, maybe he feels about it a little differently. But I know he was afraid of gas pipe. And I had a bad argument with him prior to this meeting. I went to his club and I gave him a threat. They killed a guy in their family, and the family knew John Gotti. And I was sent to his club by John Gotti to tell Al, leave they're legitimate people. The guy you killed, that's your guy. We have no, whatever you did. But leave the family the fuck alone. They know John Gotti. They're friends with him. The argument started when he said, Sammy, I'm the boss right now. I said, you're fucking nothing. You're a captain. You're an acting boss because they're on the fucking lam. John Gotti's a sitting boss. And he's giving you that fucking order. If you fucking bother these people, they're not going to come back. They're not going to go to the cops. We'll come back. And I think that made him nervous right after that argument and his problem with gas pipe. That's when we had that meeting in Giulio's restaurant in Coney Island.
Hey, Jason, Francisco, Janet. Hey, it's Janet's birthday on the 4th. Wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Janet. On the 4th. What a day to get born.
Right? Kenneth Sponberg says, Sammy, reports in May 2019 indicated that a Cosa Nostra insider revealed that John Gotti had sent one of the Gambino's explosives experts to Sicily to work with I think it's Corleonesi Mafia, to help plan the bombing that would kill Giovanni Falcone. Is there any truth to this claim?
Zero truth to that. I don't think he would even know who you were talking about.
Okay, another question from Kenneth. Did you have or know any dealings with Harlem Black heroin lord Frank Lucas? In the movie American Gangster, which is about him, he portrays Lucas as having a lot of dealings with Cosa Nostra. It shows the same in the new TV show about him as well.
Yeah, he was a big-time drug dealer. He had a lot of connections with Mafia guys, some in our family, Eddie Lino, Angelo Ruggiero. He had connections in other families as well. I never knew him. I never did drugs back then, so I didn't know him. I knew of him, and I knew he was dealing with the Mafia.
Okay, I have Janaka in Super Chat. Sammy, how well did you know Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman?
I didn't know him at all. I got indicted on his testimony. He had told the government that he killed a cop. It was a cold case 21 years earlier that me and him and some guys with me killed this cop. I got indicted on that case. It was a lot of bullshit. I never met him. I didn't know who he was. But he made up this story. I even know why and how he made it up. He made it up. He was doing time with the guy named Bobby Kuberk, was a captain in our family. When I cooperated, Bobby Kuberk got convicted. He was with him. He told him the whole story, and he came out and told the story like it was me and him. I know the facts of the story. I fought the case for a couple of years, and I finally, the case got thrown out. So, but it came from Bobby Kuberk. Jerry Capisi said this idiot, Bobby Kuberk, filed that I never told the truth and I was lying, so he should get a new trial before I even got pinched. So he knew it was going to happen. He jumped the gun and asked for an appeal. It was obvious to the government. It was obvious to Jerry Capisi wrote a big article about it. And that's how I got pinched on that indictment.
Another question from Kenneth from Our Thing. Can people from Corsica and Sardinia be made in the American Mafia since they are of the same descent and have the same Italian surnames as those from Italy and Sicily?
Yes, as long as you're Italian, doesn't matter where you were born. If your mother and father, I don't think my mother was born in Sicily, but if they were Sicilian and you were born for them, you're a Sicilian. Yeah, and you're Italian, and of course you could get made, but it doesn't really matter where you come from.
I have Smokey Robinson in the chat asks, how powerful was Angelo Bruno? How was he close to Don Carlo? God bless you, Mr. Gravano.
Thank you so much. God bless you too. And he was very, very. Angelo Bruno was a good guy. They called him the Gentle Don. He was very, very close to Carlo Gambino. When he was rubbed out, when he was killed, I wound up going on a hit, the Johnny Keys hit. Because of it, our family had the contract. I fulfilled the contract. I killed Johnny Keys and won the war for Nicky Scoffo, who was being backed by the commission.
So, one of the questions that we got were from TikTok. So, Sammy, if I'm only 25% Italian, could I be accepted into the mob?
What part is the 25%? If your father's Italian, you could be made. It doesn't matter what your mother is. And that happened because a lot of people came to this country and they married different women, Jewish women, Irish, German, whatever. So it didn't matter what your mother was, it mattered what your father is. So if your father's Italian, yes, you would be eligible to become a made guy.
Question about Albert Anastasia. Was Albert Anastasia as ruthless as they say?
I think he was more ruthless. He was very, very dangerous. He had his men, from what I was told, in a room, all made guys. They were watching television. One guy robbed a bank. And on his way out, some good citizen chased him, grabbed him, knocked him to the ground. The police caught him, and he got arrested. Albert didn't know the guy from a hole in the wall. He didn't like the idea that this guy did it. Plus, he was getting an award for a good citizen. He sent a team of guys to kill him. They did kill the guy. A made guy killed him. To cut his tie with it, he killed the made guy. He was completely dangerous. Nobody knew which way he was going to fly. He was very, very against Carlo Gambino, trying to kill him. At one point, he wanted to flip a coin between Carlo Gambino and another guy who was a captain in the family. The other guy lost the toss, and he was killed. Who saved Carlo Gambino was Paul Castellano. It was they're related, his cousin or something. And he saved him. When they killed Anastasia, Tommy Rava was going to take over. Tato, Fat Andy, all these guys were with him, under him. Tommy Rava was going to try and take over. Carlo Gambino asked Tato to kill him. Tato killed him and his bodyguard. They never showed up. They were missing. And Carlo Gambino won the war. It was a quick war. He became the boss of all bosses. He was a fair man, a good man, very smart man, shrewd. As soon as he took him out, Tommy Rava, he made Neil Delacroce his underboss. Neil Delacroce was under Tommy Rava as well. So he brought in the strength with him. They loved him. They trusted him. And he died of old age. In 1976, when I got made. He died before I got made.
Sammy, do you miss late night wise guy meetups?
Well, I miss New York like it was, Brooklyn. I mean, it was a beautiful place. Especially we talk about 4th of July. It was insane. It was really, really good. You know, in Brooklyn, New York, and most parts of New York, any of the boroughs, everybody knew everybody. It was insane. And everybody took care of everybody. We didn't allow rapists, child molesters, people into our neighborhood. We would kill them in a minute. So it was good times back then. It's not that good now. I know a lot of people, they tell me, Sammy, you would hate it now. I mean, Look at this, a guy running as the mayor. I think he's a Muslim. I don't remember what country he's from, but the guy is a radical. He wants to fire all cops and let everybody out of prison. I mean, if they hire this guy as the mayor, New York is going to, they're already making statements. People want to move if this guy's elected. So he's a real radical. And we caught him eating pork once in a while. So he's probably not a good Muslim either. So.
Oh, no. Sammy, do you know who was responsible for the hit on Charlie the Siege?
You know, Charlie the Siege, I know him, but I really don't know. I don't remember who hit him, but I don't remember.
Sammy, does the Mexican Mafia control the prison system from the inside?
I don't know if they control the prison system. They're very powerful, the Mexican Mafia and Mexicans. There's a boatload of them. And, you know, when you have problems with one, all of a sudden you have problems with 20 of them. But they were easy for the Italians to get along with. I'm going to tell you another thing, that when there was a racial problem with blacks and whites, the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans stood with the whites against the blacks, because the black population was very large, so you were always outnumbered. Those three groups stood together against the blacks always when there was a big racial type of riot. Otherwise, we all got along.
All right. Coming up in the ranks at your time in the life, how did you manage feeling nervous or any sort of fear?
Nervous or fear? After I saw the movie Jaws, I'm afraid to go in the water. I get up to my fucking ankles like a broad, and I'm screaming, yelling, "There's a shark! I know I'm going to get eaten." So that gave me fear more than anything, is a shark. After watching that movie, I could never go in the water, swim, and even in the pool, I was looking behind me all the time. So,
well, now we know not to dress up Lily like a shark. Nikki says, Salvatore, I thank the Lord for you. I grew up in arm's length from the life. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Sammy, do you still adhere to the DTA life? Don't trust anyone. Would you trust anyone you did time with?
There's a lot of guys I did time with that I would trust. There's a lot of good guys in prison. I trust a lot of people. I mean, I've been betrayed a couple times in my life already, but you can't take that out on everybody. You can't mistrust everybody because you got screwed over once or twice or three times. You got to be a little more aware, look for signs, things like that. But I wouldn't take it out on everybody just because you got, screwed a couple times.
I have T. Rivers in the super chat. Sammy, I hope Tom Hardy and Mark Wahlberg play you in your movie.
Well, only one of them could play at the same time. I mean, but I think I would love for Tom Hardy to play me. There's just something about him and Cillian Murphy. Both of those guys, I would love for either one of them to play me. There's something about them, I feel a bond. I like them a lot.
I have another question in your chat. I do not know how to pronounce this name. Oma?
That's a woman, right? Oma?
I don't know. But here's the question. Hey, Sammy, do you think Frankie DeChico could have made a better boss than John, and why?
Oma, yes. I think he could have definitely made a better boss. He was smarter. He was for the underdog type of guy. He wasn't a show-off. I think he would have made a much, much better boss.
Hey, Sammy, when made men live long enough, are they able to retire from the life?
You're never out of the life. When you're made for life. Even now, I cooperate. I'm out of the life for years and years and years. I'm still referred to and still considered the underboss. I may have lost my position as the underboss, but I can never remove the fact that I took the blood oath and it runs in my veins.
I have Mendy Fofana. Who does Sammy miss among the people he worked with in the mob?
I miss them all, my whole crew. Even some of them I was involved in their murders because they broke rules. I still miss them, love them. They're scars I live with. I didn't kill anybody out of hate or greed. I killed people on orders in the Mafia. You know what's crazy? I'm talking about doing my movie, and when I was in the military, I was in good shape. One day, they said, the captain wants to see you in his office. I went in to see him, and he said, Sammy, you're in good shape. You passed everything with flying colors. We have a crew who goes out and does, it was during the Vietnam War, they go behind enemy lines and they assassinate somebody. They're assassins. And he said, you could be part of that if you want. Now, I was drafted. The draft was 2 years. If you joined, it was 3 years. I took a few classes with them, and then they told me, you have to re-enlist for another 3 years on top of what you have left. I had about 6 months left. And you could be part of this. You'll be in a unit. Every so often, we pull you out, all you guys, and you go on a mission. I said no. I didn't want to make a career of the military. I did my 2 years. I wanted out, so I didn't be part of it. But it was an honor back then to be an assassin for your government. But now, being a hit guy in the Mafia, it's not so much of an honor. So when you do it for the government, you get medals, pat on the back, they love you. When you do it for the Mafia, they want to give you 50 years in prison.
I have a question from, I think it's Nikolai. Will Cosa Nostra ever make a comeback, or will it die slowly?
I think it's been dying slowly from the 90s. I think it's half dead. I think it's almost like a boys' club or something. They don't do the murders. They don't do the same thing. They do bullshit crimes. It's like a club. I think Lily just farted. I think she did.
I can't smell.
She's hiding her face, so she was all right.
Keith Alfredo in the super chat sent you a envelope. No question, no comment.
Thank you so much, Fredo. Fredo?
Keith Alfredo.
Oh, Alfredo.
I was thinking of the pasta.
I know, right?
Yeah. Hey, Sammy, I'm a professional MMA fighter, and I love listening to your talks before fights. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you so much. Hey, MMA, that's a tough place to be in. I mean, watch your guards and stay strong, stay good. I mean, I love the MMA fighters. I love that. You know, I used to be a boxing nut. I used to watch it all the time. I did a little boxing myself, but MMA that's the bomb.
Is there one boss that you were ever truly intimidated by?
I don't think I was intimidated by any boss. I think I got along with all of them. I never really had an argument with a boss or anything like that. I was treated pretty well. I did a lot of work. They know who I was. Tough guys have a way of liking one another and agreeing and respecting one another. It's like two MMA guys. They could get in the ring, they could fight, they could kill each other. They have a lot of respect for each other. I think this is the same thing. I didn't have trouble with bosses, to tell you the truth.
Elmo Duran says, Sammy, do you think that it's possible that Tony Montana could have survived?
In real life, you want to know something? The Tony Montanas, I think there is some Tony Montanas in real life who would like that. Something similar to that. These were tough people. These were dangerous people. This was a dangerous business. I mean, the movie was, completely exaggerated to an extent, but I think there's a lot of, guys like that around from different countries and stuff. A lot of these people come out of countries that there's wars. They grow up, look at the Israelis in some of these countries. They grow up with bombs going off around them, running in shelters, fighting back. When they come in, the Israeli fighters and people are much tougher than the Jews in the United States. They're used to war. They're used to bombs. They're used to killings. They're used to this. They come in, they're a lot tougher.